Hello everyone and welcome back to another video of mine. This time I'm back with Heaven's Secret 2, Season 3, Episode 2. Yes, it's taken a long time, but Song of the Crimson Isle was insanely long. Like, it took me at least 3 hours to edit each episode. That was insane. But to be quite honest, that was a good update for the Song of the Crimson Isle. I'm gonna have to applaud the author of the Song of the Crimson Isle because that was an epic update, just saying. But let's see what Heaven's Secret 2 has in store for us. Last episode I was pretty pissed at Malbonte because he has been saying that he's on the side of the horsemen ever since the story started, and now after the Mother of Life has been released, he's like, yeah, I'm on your side now, and I'm willing to take the Mother of Life down. Like, what the hell? Like, that doesn't even make sense. But let's see. The Mother of Life gave the world a chance to improve. Now order must be created out of chaos. But won't this make things more complicated? We will see. Over so many centuries, too many mistakes and too much grief have piled up to be erased so easily. But the first step toward purification is to talk about the problem. Well, I did say if you want to heal from a trauma, you can't just let the problem pass by you. You need to actually deal with the problem. And in order to heal and you yourself to improve, you need to go through a problem. Episode 2, the beginning of order. Arrogant laughed, but when he spoke, there was nothing joyful in his voice. Yeah, there was a laugh out of spite. You did all you could to clear the path for the Mother of Life, and now you say you want to destroy me. Malbonte was silent for a long time, then answered briefly. Baby, you're gonna have to do better than that. You were wrong. What is that supposed to mean? You were wrong. Did you think that the Mother of Life is gonna destroy her children and then everything would be fine? What did you expect from the Mother of Life to appear? I was wrong. He's lying. Wrong. People like you don't make mistakes by chance. The Mother of Life cannot be killed, but the path can be closed off again. Do you know how to do this? Not yet. Arrogant turned to the guards and said to them, "Put him in shackles and take him to a cell." Is this necessary? Am I for putting him in a cell? No, because no matter what bullshit he's pulling, he's still my favorite and I love him. But does he deserve a punishment for letting us go through all this without actually giving us a real explanation? Yes. We can... No, we can't. Don't interfere. Not now. Malbonte lifted his hands and allowed them to bring him to his knees and twist his arms behind his back. What? Malbonte. Y'all, Malbonte keeps on getting more mysterious every single episode. Since when is he so obedient? Since when is he allowing them to put shackles on him? This time it isn't a shackle around his heart. Is that why he's so calm about this? It's not a shackle around his heart or his soul. It's a shackle on his wrist, so he's fine. What is this? He didn't resist while he was being taken away. As he passed by, he looked up, knowing that I was watching him. We said nothing to each other. I stayed where I was and didn't turn to watch. You can be there for the interrogation if you want. I'm sure he'll tell us a lot of new things. Mom's words oozed venom. Despite knowing it was merely a gesture, she took pleasure in Malbonte's momentary humiliation. I want to be there, yes? She nodded. Just don't interfere. Can't promise that. I wasn't planning on it. I am. If our mom is trying some bullshit, I'm gonna destroy her. Simona, I know what's going on between you and that bastard. Then you sure as hell better do not use the word bastard in front of me, bitch. You do not know what I'm capable of to protect my man. Your feelings for him shouldn't interfere with Arrogant's work. And he's clearly not in a good mood. Do you understand me? No, I don't. Entirely. Nope. I do not understand a thing that's coming out of your mouth. Then let's go. Little bitch. So sorry. Once upon a time, I was a prisoner of that place, Malbonte, once on the side of those who shackled me. We traded place. You guys, like, I'm sorry, but this situation is hilarious. This is actually cringe in a certain sense, because people say in order to understand me, you need to go through the same thing I have. Now, he knows how we felt like when we were trapped in here. I stood in the corner in the shadows and listened silently. Strength. A chair was brought for Aragon, who sat in front of Malbonte, his hands clenched into fists and resting on his knees, his gaze boring into the prisoner. Malbonte looked calm. I waited for Aragon to speak for a while, but the silence dragged on, and then, unable to stand it, Malbonte spoke first. So he can stand awkward silences too? Okay.
The mother one shows mercy. She didn't say what exactly she expected from us because she didn't know it herself. That's why she needs to be stopped.
Aragon just smiled at that. He began to thoughtfully pick at the loose threads on his sleeve. He was biting this time, taunting him. From the way Malbonte's jaw clenched and his nostrils flared as he breathed heavily, it became clear that Aragon was making him angry.
You're in no position to choose your allies.
That. Silence, Aragon.
There's too much at stake.
This kind of made me a hypocrite. Am I biased because it's Malbonte? Yes, I am, but that's not the point. It's true that Aragon is in no situation to choose his allies, but this is a situation that you brought upon yourself, Mr. Malbonte. Like, we're in this situation because of your sorry ass. So who are you to feel upset that we are literally making you feel all the bullshit that you put us through?
Is that so? Sometimes it seems like you're the cause of everything that's happened.
Even in the darkness, I noticed Malbonte's eyes widen momentarily as if he agreed. But the doubt quickly disappeared. He said,
Understand that you're angry with me. Those who say that time heals all lies.
Because of his sister. Now I got it. Aragon shook his head, skillfully hiding his emotions.
I don't advise going down that road.
His voice was calm but cold and harsh, like a slap in the face. Y'all, like, I just know my child. I just know my soulmate so well.
Because of me, your sister died. If you think I've forgotten that for even a moment while in your presence, you're mistaken. But if you're expecting an apology, there won't be one. I'm not expecting one.
Malbonte leaned toward Aragon, making his chains rattle nastily.
You know we have more in common than you think. You'd like to believe that?
Aragon.
Really?
I cannot with Malbonte.
Do you think you're the only one who lost everything you had? Do you know who my parents were? Have you heard the story of Empiran?
It amazed me that they could speak so calmly, almost quietly, and yet convey their rage and hostility so clearly that even I felt uneasy.
I hadn't been born yet, neither had you, but I was in my mother's womb. I lost my brother and my father. The city my family ruled was destroyed. My mother had to flee and seek protection so that she wouldn't be killed next. It was a great city, of which only a river remains named after my father. Do you want me to feel sorry for you? I didn't rush to seek petty revenge for my lost home or power. I didn't take revenge on you for the death of my sister, because you didn't suffer. All you had was the illusion of suffering. The sorrow all fell upon your family's shoulders, not yours. This is why the demons despise the angels. You consider yourself right and pure and judge others for getting their hands dirty.
Honestly, to be quite honest, you tell him. Because I'm saying it so often in so many videos. Every single person has good and bad personality traits. This has nothing to do with me being born an angel or me being born a demon. This is just a vision that has been implanted on our minds. Demons are supposed to be evil, and angels are supposed to be good. So a demon is just supposed to make bad decisions, as in a decision that is that horrible that every single human being sees it as evil, and an angel is supposed to be the realization of purification. An angel is supposed to be completely pure, but we saw with That girl, I forgot her name, she was supposed to be with Dino so badly because of his dear little father, Fenzio. She didn't want to be an angel. She wanted to be a demon. Because she felt so oppressed with the dark impulses she had that she didn't feel like she is an angel. Like I said, the vision that has been put onto their minds. So she was like, if I would have been born a demon, I wouldn't have to hide my emotions like this. But that's the only reason she wanted to be a demon. Because the vision of an angel is supposed to be that they're completely pure, that they don't have such dark impulses, such dark thoughts. And that's why she killed herself. But no matter if you're an angel or a demon, you have bad and good impulses. This has nothing to do with what you were born as. So I love that he's tackling this. Like, angels aren't all pure beings. Like, Fenzio also did Mal's dirty work. Like, Fenzio was an angel. Or let's just say, is an angel. And he did bad deeds. But we have demons like Lucifer, for example. Yes, he's a dick, but he has a good heart. And he's committing good deeds. So this is just a view of things.
You may not trust me again. You can even try to kill me. But we both know that we have no other choice. We must help each other take our anger further to save this world. For what? So that you can try to destroy it again? You have no idea how right you are. But that's not the point now.
Malbonte raised his hand.
The mother left these marks. I know the language of darkness, and I will help you decipher the books you found. They may hold some useful information. How do you know about that? If I revealed how much I know about your actions, you would feel uneasy.
I love him.
You've become too talkative.
I'm here, that's why.
Because I've come too far to die.
Oh, respect Malbonte. He's like, I've been through so much shit already. There's no way I'm dying.
You're the one who handed everything over to the horseman.
That! I did say that.
Yes. Who gave it to you? Revelius, Miss Elena, or Simona?
Hello? Excuse me?
Or maybe all of them.
Excuse you? I flinched when I heard my name. I am not a part of this. Malbonte glanced in my direction, then looked back at Aragon.
You had no control over the rumors about your actions. As soon as one member heard about your plans, the information spread like wildfire. It was enough for it to reach me. How do we know you're not still on the horseman's side? Because with the coming of the Mother of Life, the game's over. They don't care what you do now. They're too confident that they've backed us into a corner. And maybe they're right. Maybe. What are you hoping for? What is your goal? I'm not going to tell you that.
If he was to reveal everything, he wouldn't have any leverage in the future. That's how Malbonte is. He always keeps something up his sleeve.
Why? I promise I will help you rid the world of the Mother of Life's wrath. Make sure she doesn't destroy us. I give you my word. The rest doesn't matter.
They fell silent again, glaring at each other.
Do you know why I haven't started a family in all these years? I don't want to know what prompts a father to kill another child for the sake of his own.
Something changed in Malbonte's face, as if from suppressing powerful emotions. This man never actually allowed himself to let himself go. All this pain, like even in his worst moment, he still felt all of those human, positive emotions. Even if he was supposed to be just his evil side, he still was so pure-hearted. Like, that's a part of who he is that's not gonna change. But because he was traumatized, because he was tormented by Sifa Malum all these centuries in non-existence, he never allowed himself to actually show those emotions because he was tired of getting his spine split in two and etc. Like, he just wanted to live his life and was waiting for the time he would finally be capable to escape non-existence. Thousands of years ago, his father had to kill Aragon's sister to keep their secret. He had tried to save his son, and that desire cost the life of someone else's child. Malbonte revealed a new side of himself. Okay. Aragon stood up, not allowing him to prolong the conversation with a response.
Free him and prepare a room for him. Rebecca.
Yes.
His every move must be watched. He must not fly away from the academy on his own, only accompanied. Understood.
Aragon looked at Malbonte again and strode out of the dungeon.
Let's go, Simona.
I'm not going anywhere with you, ma'am. Malbonte caught my gaze and nodded, massaging the shackle marks on his wrists. I didn't talk to him and followed Mom. Oh, hell no. They are actually separating me from my soulmate, y'all. I am not a fan of this. Why did you want me there?
I knew Aragon would have to let him go, but I wanted you to understand. We're not on the same side as him. He can't be trusted. We're just backed into a corner.
I already know how desperate our situation is. Malbonte went out into the yard. He was discreetly accompanied by several soldiers who froze a short distance behind him as soon as he stopped. So technically Malbonte is a prisoner. I mean, after all the bullshit he pulled, I don't blame them for being like, yeah, forget it, bitch. But those measures, I don't know. Like, him being watched, yes, I understand. I don't know, do they have like these small darts that can make an angel lose consciousness? Is that a thing? Or is he just too powerful for that? Like, I would have preferred them leaving him alone so that he doesn't feel like he's watched. I mean, of course he knows that he's being watched, but not that it's too obvious, you know? Like him actually being followed like they are his prison guards, you know? Those who witnessed this began to talk among themselves, staring at the one who was taken into custody just half an hour ago. Dino came out to the sound of voices and, spotting the source of the commotion, headed towards him. Oh, he crossed the entire courtyard and stopped a few steps away from Malbonte. Okay.
I don't trust you, and I'll be watching you.
Malbonte literally is like, okay, I do not care if you trust me or not. I'm just gonna be here. Like, if you want to watch me, fine. You can watch me from afar. Not like I actually have to explain anything to you. I can't. This is hilarious, Malbonte. How can someone be so laid back and just not care about any situation that he finds himself in?
Okay. If I see you hurt anyone accidentally or intentionally, you'll regret it.
Malbonte.
Okay.
Dino stared at Malbonte for a long time, frowning, then nodded. The air vibrated with the force of his silent rage. I mean, let's be honest. Even the nicest person would snap at that. Like, you are talking business. You actually have the feeling that the people you love are in trouble. And you talk to the source of all the misery. And you actually state your business and want to be taken seriously, and the source of your problems is just like, so don't you dare, Like, sooner or later you snap. Few were happy about Malbonte's return. Me. Those who had been unlucky enough to be on the island remembered all too vividly whose side he was on.
Master?
Revelius hurriedly hobbled towards them. He handed over the flask which I had given him at Malbonte's request.
Blake is dead. Is this no longer necessary?
Malbonte, considering it, rolled it over in his palm.
Is there any other way you can use my blood? To create a weapon?
The scientist's eyes sparkled in anticipation. Oh no. Oh no. Don't. Malbonte is gonna be an experiment, y'all. Oh god. Okay.
Yes, perhaps. I'll come to you every day and give you some blood.
Wow, okay, he's actually is saying use my blood for however way you want. Just create more weapons.
Focus on the husband. Nothing will help against the mother.
Okay, I do not like the scientist, y'all. He's kind of creeping me out. Only then did Malbonte deign to look at me. He deigned to look at me! Bitch, let me walk over there and smack him. Is that an option? He had a soldier's bearing, with his feet shoulder wide apart. His hands were pressed firmly against his hips, as if holding himself back from pouncing. He looked like a predator, confident in his abilities, who didn't care about what people might think of him, as he sank his teeth into the neck of his prey. She says he vampire. Shall I approach him? He should be the one approaching me after the bullshit he pulled, but you know what? I'm gonna approach him. Because I'm a simp. Because I'm a wimp. because I'm that dependent on my baby Malbonte that I can't do anything about it. When I moved toward him, he pressed harder, as if afraid that he wouldn't be able to control his impulses and might tear me to pieces. And why exactly would he want to tear me to pieces? What exactly did I do? And where would that impulse come from? From hatred or lust? I mean, please give me a little more intel. I stopped, so we stood there looking at each other. If you hadn't helped the horseman, we might still have a chance.
Perhaps.
Are you on our side now?
Yes.
Lies. And we don't need to worry about any sabotage from you.
That is necessary.
He's like, if I think it's necessary, I'm gonna sabotage you. To be quite honest, Malbonte is an icon. He literally does not hold back on anything. He's like, yes, I'm on your side. I no longer give a damn about the horseman. And then, can we plan with any sabotage from your side? If I think it's necessary, I'm gonna sabotage you. Like, you want me to be honest? I'm gonna be honest. I can't. What? How can you keep doing this? Because he's Malbonte. To be quite honest, this is one of the reasons why I love this man above every single other character in the story.
Doing what?
Acting like this.
Do you trust me, Simona?
No. Okay. No, baby. No, baby. Y'all, maybe this is because we have Malbonte as our lover, but this woman needs to get herself some more self-confidence. Like, I do not trust this man with my life. He literally was willing to sacrifice our lives in order to awaken the mother of life. What are you on? What pot are you smoking? I trust you with my life, but not the world.
And that's the right thing.
What? Are you kidding me? I'm not even trusting you with my life. Like, neglect the first part, Malbonte. I don't trust you with my life, and I don't trust you with the whole world. He stepped towards me, grabbed my shoulders, and pulled me closer. It wasn't a hug, but it felt intimate. Maybe that's the only way he can show that he wants us to know that he truly cares about us and what happens to us. Malbonte shook his head, almost brushing his lips over mine. I looked at them, not hiding my desire, but calmly restraining the impulse. Yeah, no. I wouldn't have been capable to do that. I mean, it depends. It depends. Like, after what he does not deserve any kissing time. Like, I still want to know why he needed that to free the mother of life that badly. What did he think was gonna happen once he freed her? I need an answer to that question, and as long as I don't have that, I'm gonna have a few problems with Malbonte. I can't find peace and happiness in the Malbonte scenes as soon as I have an answer to that question, y'all. You won't succeed. Whatever you're planning, it won't work. He bent down a little more, opened his mouth, and whispered, very briefly touching his lips to mine.
You know what's going to happen. I don't stop halfway.
That was him saying, once I have you heated up, I'm gonna enter you. That's what he's saying. I don't stop halfway. I'm not giving up. Like, the first chance I get, you mine. Okay, I'm gonna stop. Maybe he thinks that freeing the mother of life was just like was a necessary means in order for him to actually be capable to complete his mission. Like, in order for him to fulfill his plan, he needed the mother of life to be alive. Like, that was a necessary means. He would have liked to could do it without her, as in without freeing the mother of life, but apparently it was a necessary means. I opened my lips in response, but stopped myself in time. I pushed him away from me, anxiously straightening my clothes. Malbonte wasn't surprised. He seemed amused. He smiled contently. Yeah, he was talking about the sexual thing. So my sexual innuendos were actually true. That's what he was actually talking about. I know, my soulmate. I'm annoyed that you're not completely honest with me. And it was Malbonte missed you. Yes, thank you.
I'm not hiding the fact that I'm not completely honest. That's the hilarious part about you, though.
Am I supposed to be grateful for this?
That's all I can do.
For you. Why is it so difficult for you to open up to me? Do what you want. Just don't betray me. The smile faded from his face. That Like, do not blame me. You already betrayed me once. You dragged me out of the house to free the mother of life. The next time I'm actually gonna have to pay my life for your gain. He became serious again.
I won't. I promise.
Baby, Malbonte, what am I gonna do with you this update? Actions speak louder than words. Actions speak louder than words. You need to show me that you're not willing to hurt me again. His fingers trembled, and he clenched them into a fist, squeezing his wrist with his other hand as if trying to stop himself from touching me. You better feel the desire, and know what you did to fuck it all up.
How are you feeling?
Why do you care how I'm feeling? Okay, y'all, I need to try. I need to know why he needed to free the mother of life. I'm not gonna have peace with the Malbonte scenes if I don't know. Do I look that bad? He couldn't resist touching my face, but his finger twitched sharply, froze, and slowly lowered.
Bruises.
Lilo said this power will kill me.
Only if you misuse it.
And how do I misuse it? Have you met anyone like me before? Malbonte was in no hurry to answer, but when he did, my heart fluttered and beat loudly in my chest.
No, I've never met anyone like you.
You know, I can understand this also very differently. As in, I'm very special. And you have never met anyone that makes your heart skip as much as I am capable to make your heart skip. He answered my question, but why did his words have a completely different meaning? I looked away from him, biting my lips in an attempt to hold back a smile. Mimi ran out into the yard. Simona, Dino, Aragon is calling for you. I took one last look at Malbonte and hurried toward Mimi. Take his ugly ass with you. The members of the order were gathering in the hall. Compared to the small study at the Resistance headquarters, the place seemed too big and luxurious. We looked out of place against the backdrop of sculptures, statues, and frescoes, although we had once been a part of it all. And Aragon, who was practically the heart of the heavenly world, was a grey blot amid the many colors. War, death, and war again had battered him more than the passing centuries. He became a tired old man, longing to retire, but forced to continue his existence until someone relieved him of this burden. I felt a surge of strength. We are filled with strength. We are back here. The horseman's rampage was over. I would continue training and become even more useful. Mom stood next to Aragon, her back straight and head held high, arms outstretched and fingers clasped. His primary comrade in arms, executioner and spiritual sister, hardened by the fire of his training.
We've brought you here to discuss the next steps. We don't yet know exactly what the Mother of Life expects from us, but we need to appear before her in the best possible light. We need to demonstrate that we're a developed society, capable of rising to challenges and withstanding adversity without crumbling like a house of cards. That means we need to let the mortals know what's going on first, give them a chance to earn forgiveness. Why the humans? They don't know what to do. They're weaker than us. It will be harder for them to prove their worth. Will they listen?
Dino absent-mindedly touched her shoulder where the bullet from their special weapon had hit them.
Eliza had a suggestion.
Eliza stood next to Mammon, her elbow propped possessively on his shoulder.
We'll meet with the most powerful humans in the order to influence the rest of them.
Manipulating their minds?
Exactly. That's what I've been doing for many years.
Even during the war with Malbonte, Eliza had been somewhere in the background, destroying Malbonte's small armies one after another, and all with the help of her gift.
You will leave tomorrow night. Simona, your gift won't be needed, but I want you to train your physical strength. Also, as a former mortal, you know how to get through to them. Go ahead, but don't keep Mimi and Dana from doing their jobs.
Got it.
Prepare to move out.
Okay. I didn't see Malbonte and didn't want to. I want to see him. I let myself be angry with him, unworried about him becoming more closed up. I'm now fine with him and now she's pissed. I mean, it's fine, girl. His omissions, his actions, and his secrets irritated me. It was time for our departure, and having barely slept, we gathered in the courtyard. What's with all those outfits? They all look ugly, y'all. They all look ugly. Every single one of them. Every single one of them looks ugly. Please tell me that the hair is good. Oh, maybe the point... You know what? I'm gonna go blonde. At least the hair was nice. Mimi stood between me and Dino, her arms around her shoulders. It's been a long time since we went down to Earth as a group. It'll be fun.
Are you sure you can handle it?
Can you? Well, let's fly, shall we? I gave Mimi's back a push. Go ahead. To be quite honest, I'm intrigued. Where's Christopher? Like, we haven't seen him for such a long time. We went into a bunker deep underground. Security met us every step of the way. Bullets whistled, shots ringing out for miles. There were deafening blasts, rude shots, and futile attempts to subdue us. Dino got rid of the mortals. He knocked out his opponents with powerful blows. Mimi slinked seductively between the attackers, touching them one by one, and they began to fight against each other. I did nothing. They moved so quickly that I just walked forward without slowing down. Mimi and Dinah said we are king and queen. We're gonna be capable to take care of all of this bullshit. Don't worry. And she was like, I'm in general the queen. Like, I'm gonna let them all do the dirty work and I'm gonna be capable to literally just walk past. Yeah, of course. Finally, all our opponents were defeated. We stopped outside a large metal door.
Leave it to me.
Dinah released a small but powerful ball of energy which exploded as it touched the block, blowing a hole right through it. Of course. Mimi pushed the door and we entered. I'm not sure what to expect right now. Like, what exactly are we trying to do? The president of the new state sat at the head of a round table. He jumped up as soon as we appeared in the doorway. He looked shocked, but he kept his emotions under control. He had already been warned about our arrival. Next to him, his Minister of Internal Affairs and several other men in military uniforms were sitting at the table. They were the next to stand, wanting to say something, but the president raised his hand, motioning for them to remain silent.
What's going on?
There was obvious fear in the eyes of the mortals, but not because of our arrival. It was horror at the fact that the likes of us existed. If I were him, I'd be afraid too. Their fear will help us achieve what we want, but fear can motivate them to do desperate things. Pitiful little humans. Fear can motivate them to do desperate things. We have to lead them with a gentle hand, otherwise they might rebel and dig their own grave. It was my turn to act. Dino and Mimi were silent, standing on either side, ready to protect me and repel any attacks. Path of composure! I advise you to calm down. Sit down. He remained standing. Sit down. There was a coldness in my voice that didn't bode well. Oh, I am so good. Like, I would be doing the same thing. Like, you don't want to sit down? I don't want to attack you, so sit the F down. He had to obey. Did you hear the voice of the Mother of Life warning about Judgment Day? Everyone nodded. The Minister of Defense clutched the handle of his pistol, but seemed to understand that his weapon was powerless against us. They didn't have Yog-Sothian poison. Either someone else took possession of it, or the poison ran out and their anonymous benefactor didn't supply them with a new batch. But the knowledge that we could be stopped gave them hope and extra courage. Sure, but without it you're useless, bitch. Try me. I hope they wouldn't do anything stupid. You need to stop the war with the other states.
That's impossible.
It is possible. If you don't want to die, you will obey. The president swallowed hard but didn't answer. The only pursed lips holding back the words that wanted to rush out. Exactly. Silence.
Why? Why do you need us to do this?
Mortals must bow their heads and show that they weren't created for destruction. You must demonstrate that you deserve to live. And so far, you've only proven the opposite. Why save the lives of those who are trying to get themselves killed? Path of insufficient strength, of course.
My speech had no impact on him. And even though there were wings on my back, all they saw was a young woman, 20 years old, her voice unsteady from either excitement or rage. And they were, in their opinion, hardened men who had seen things and juggled the destinies of others. And even though they feared me, they didn't see a power in me that they wished to obey. There is no point in talking to them. There is a more effective way. Mimi took a step forward. The ministers jumped up and the president let out a panicked cry. Someone tried to shoot us, but Dino knocked the gun out of his hands and then crushed it like a plastic toy. Mimi squeezed the president's throat, turned him around and forced him to look her in the eyes. You will stop all the fighting and be obedient. You will do whatever we say. Not if you understand. The president nodded. Honestly, to be quite honest, to see Mimi in action, it's okay that I had insufficient strength, because I think we see this independent Mimi very, very little. So, at the first chance, yes, Mimi. Good. I quietly breathed out a sigh of relief. I didn't want to spend too much time on Earth. After several similar visits to the most powerful humans of the mortal world, our mission was complete. The humans had been warned and fallen under our invisible influence. We returned to the school to report to Mom and Aragon on the work we'd done.
Well done.
Aragon was silent during our account and only nodded. He looked uninspired, as if he knew that the mortals were already doomed.
Did those men show up?
No, they disappeared. There are rumors that they and the Mother of Life were seen in the snowy valley. It looks like they'll keep their word and won't bother us for now.
So we can't waste time. You have set the stage. Eliza will keep an eye on the human world.
Most likely the mortals will meet their end. The humans will be difficult to deal with. We shouldn't waste our energy on the humans. Honestly, they will be difficult to deal with. They can be stubborn.
Don't worry. I've dealt with worse. Rebecca and I will go to the Citadel. Their rights to know. Dana, you'll be in charge of my place.
Ooh!
Mimi will be responsible for the academy and the students that remain. Yes, sir.
Okay.
As for Hell...
Aragon looked at Lucifer, who stood sullen and silent a few steps away from the others. Lucifer stepped forward. He looks so good! So good!
As far as I know, Plague seized Bowen and handed the post to Uffa. I'll sort it out.
Aragon nodded.
Only you can deal with the situation. When are you planning to leave?
Tomorrow.
Who will you take with you?
I can go alone. No, you can't.
Don't take Astaroth, Mimi, and my daughter.
Period! Take me with you! Oh, Astaroth is coming too! Oh, let's go. That's your fault, Malbonte. Should have kept me on a tighter leash. I'm so sorry.
If things don't go according to plan, she'll be able to suppress others' powers. We must not allow this madman to stay on the throne. I agree with Rebecca. The final choice is yours. You're the rightful ruler of Hell.
Lucifer was silent for a few seconds and nodded.
I agree. Let them come with me.
Aragon stood up.
That's settled.
He went down and extended his hand, firmly shaking Lucifer's when he accepted and looking into his eyes.
Good luck.
Then he looked at Dino.
And you, I'm sure you can handle it.
Dino nodded.
I'd advise you to rest and be careful.
My room was stuffy. I walked around the academy, but the emptiness of the hallways made me anxious and lonely. It seemed like I was the only one awake. Then I went outside and had completed a few rounds when I noticed someone's silhouette in the cemetery. I went closer and saw Lilith. She was bent over Lucifer's grave, which had remained after the war with Malbonte. When I stopped behind her, she didn't even turn around and spoke as if she knew that I'd come to her.
They say mothers can feel when something happens to their children. But I didn't feel it. I learned about his death from the servants.
Were you very upset?
No, I felt better.
What kind of mother are you? Lilith turned around and, noticing my surprise, added with a smile.
I no longer feared grief because the worst that could happen had already happened.
That does not make any sense. I would feel even worse because it would be like my worst fear fulfilling itself. What kind of... Girl, are you mad? Let me say it differently. You're mad. Lilith was silent for a long time, then she suddenly said,
I have a favor to ask of you.
What is it? Take my hand. I hesitated, but then when she asked, me too, sis, I would be like, huh? Lilith looked up at me with her big sad eyes. Now suppress my power. This woman wants us to die, y'all. This woman wants us to die as soon as possible. You know what? Am I stupid for saying it like this? I mean, if it can help us die faster, fulfill her request. Y'all do not take anything I say seriously when I say it like this, okay? I am just kidding. Okay. Usually I'd cover others with a dome or build a wall, but that was to suppress some external force. Lilith hadn't asked me to protect others from some outside force, but rather to protect her from her own gift. I wasn't sure I could do it, but she seemed so exhausted that I felt sorry for her. I envisioned a ball emitted energy suppressing power. It was small, but the area it affected should cover her entire body. Then I directed it toward Lilith and plunged it beneath her heart. Yes, I can feel it. Her hand trembled in my grasp, and her face took on a peaceful, almost joyful expression. I held the ball, not allowing it to dissipate, and just watched Lilith. After 10 minutes, she opened her eyes and took a step back. That's enough, thank you. Strength? Lilith is grateful to you. But what is her power exactly? Didn't she want to see her son die for just 10 minutes? Like, what? It's a shame I can suppress your power forever. Maybe a horseman could. Is being a seer really so hard? It is hard, but it's not only that. In my case, the gift came with a flaw. It's like a disease. Depression. I call it depression. I can't control it. It's too chaotic. I've killed many mortals. I've killed many more immortals during my life than there are graves in this cemetery. She changed the topic so quickly that I didn't immediately understand what she meant. Will you go to hell tomorrow? Yes. Help my boy get back what's his. He will take care of his people. Lilith turned around and without saying goodbye slowly moved on, looking at the graves and epitaphs. I nodded my agreement, even if she didn't see it, and returned to the academy. Oh God. Malbonte didn't come to say goodbye, but when I woke up I saw a black obelisk flower on the pillow. It symbolized hatred, but it meant more than that to Malbonte. It also meant justice, strife, and faith in one's own strength. It was a message from him, a message worth 1,000 words. I put the flower in my pocket and left the room. Oh, he wanted us to be strong. That's what the flower was supposed to be. Oh, cute. Lucifer waited until everyone had gathered.
Give a low profile.
He looked at Astaroth.
I spent my whole life hiding in the catacombs. Do you think I can stay out of trouble?
Astaroth.
If you screw up, no one will save you. What a wonderful role.
So sorry.
Let's fly.
Hal knew about our visit. I was worried, but I couldn't put my finger on why. Perhaps it was the place itself along with its inhabitants. Eccentric, hot-tempered demons, squabbling over power and waiting for the moment to show the world what they were capable of. There was no knowing what to expect from them, especially after a plague had untied their hands. And I didn't have enough time to recover, and I may let everyone down. I'm ready to fight back. There's not even a question. I still have some strength left in me. Wow, Hell's Main City! Look at this place, y'all. Look at this place. That's a new background. Look at this place, y'all. Wow. And not demons being hanged there. No. Eternal heat. Those who think that the underworld is filled with the cries of the unfortunate are mistaken. Hell is quiet, but the silence is even more frightening. Evil lurks in it, as in the darkness. I wiped the sweat from my forehead and sighed, looking around. On the outskirts, at the highest point of the city, there was a huge stone gallows, Mont Falcon. The bodies were left there for a very long time as a warning to others. Even now, stiff corpses wait on it. Oh no! The only thing that interrupted the silence of the abyss from time to time was the distant barking of hellhounds from the Neils. Oh, are we gonna see hellhounds in the story? Servants and demons scurried around the city past gambling houses, expensive restaurants, taverns, and Socombs establishments, ignoring the temptation to enter, not because they were pure, but because they themselves were made of lust and sin. I liked it here. I felt like I was part of it, all right for a demon. And I knew that sin was terrible to those who ran from it, but those who accepted it could subdue and harness it.
I've been waiting for you, Lucifer, but I hope you wouldn't show up.
Deep, calm, and full of strength, but unthreatening, the voice of Satan's commanding general had always instilled a sense of awe in me. I turned on my heel and met his gaze direct as always.
Good to see you, Beelzebub. Rome must fly fast. Hell knows of your father's death.
His eyebrows drew together in reproach.
It was his decision. Don't judge his death.
Beelzebub stood with his back straight like a well-trained soldier, his hands folded behind his back. He looked over his shoulder at his subordinates who had been called to escort us, and they straightened up under his stern gaze. Beelzebub then looked at Lucifer again.
You'd better get out of here, trust me. No way, I knew what I was getting into.
Beelzebub nodded.
Have it your way.
He looked around as if just noticing the rest of us and said in a restrained but affable manner,
Welcome.
Long time no see?
Counselors rarely come down to us.
That says a lot. Beelzebub bowed his head in respect.
Good to hear.
Astaroth was silent, looking closely at the commanding general. Introduce Astaroth and share his story? I feel like that would be too much in his business. I feel like if he wants to talk about it, he's gonna talk about it. Don't introduce Astaroth. No. You know what? Introduce Astaroth without sharing his story. I don't think sharing his story is necessary. Introduce him. This is Astaroth. Beelzebub and the half-breed looked at each other appraisingly. Astaroth is grateful for the respect you've shown. Let's be honest. First off, you're welcome, Astaroth. Second off, never, ever share a story that is not yours to begin with. If someone is ready to talk about something, they will talk about it themselves. And if the situation is right, and with the people he wants to know. Like, not everyone wants to talk about what's truly bothering them. Not everyone is actually that far ahead in healing and accepting their traumas and their past. Like me, for example. There are gonna be people that will have something in their life that traumatized them, that they have accepted, but they will never truly heal from it because that pain has been inflicted on them so many times that they cannot oversee it. They have developed that opinion that no matter how hard they try to heal from that problem, it will always come back like a boomerang. So they're like, it's not going to be of any use trying to heal from that specific problem because it has always come back. Like, it's not gonna change anything no matter how hard I try to heal from that moment. Astaroth over here, he has been through some shit in the past, and whether he wants to share his story with someone else, that's his business. Me as an outstanding person, I cannot tell your story without actually knowing that you're okay with it. Besides, in general, if you want to share your story, you will do it automatically. Me, someone who doesn't really have the problem, I'm not gonna talk for you. Like, first off, that's an invasion of privacy. And second off, it's not my place. Like, that's not my story, that's not my trauma. Like, if I want to talk about my trauma, I can do that. Like, there may be people that do not want to hear it, and there may be people that actually are that curious that they will want to know every single detail of it. But not every single human being is the same. Just because I can talk about a trauma that I may still be working on, it does not mean that it's for everyone. Astaroth said so many times that his past is still very fresh to him. He opened up and we could see that he's still not over his past. You could see that he's still having trouble coming to terms what has happened to him and how he had to live his entire childhood. So there is no way that I'm gonna talk for him.
Chambers have been prepared for you.
Lucifer smiled bitterly. He was being welcomed as a guest in his own home. Beelzebub led us upward along a road to where Satan's castle sat atop the mountain. Gothic with tall spires and gargoyles, it towered over the main city as the focus and embodiment of infernal power and authority. A woman stood at the entrance. I didn't immediately recognize her as Asti. Oh, not her again! She came down a few steps, greeting us with a venomous, satisfied smile. Oh. I wasn't expecting to see you.
Funny. The horseman barely noticed yops. Or was it your dad who helped rescue you from this custody?
I would advise against insolence, tunnel rat. He's more powerful than you, bitch. Who are you threatening? You should be grateful to my father that you're alive to see this moment. Uh-huh.
That's enough. Show Lucifer and his guests to their rooms.
Period. Shut up. Oh my gosh, look at this place! Sorry. Following Beelzebub's court order, Asti shut her mouth and coldly ordered us to follow her. Lucifer didn't even look at her. His gaze was directed pointedly forward, avoiding the familiar walls of the house in which he grew up. Our steps were silent, absorbed by a dense, woolly carpet. It was the color of blood and even seemed to smell like it. Oh God, now that's too much. Portraits of all the former rulers of hell adorned the walls. The first Satan, the namesake of the title and after whom Lucifer's father was named. Briarad, Evan, Olenda, Helpas, Azrael, Andras, Satan. I don't know this number. Azazel, and again Satan. Centuries of cruelty-filled history were contained in those portraits hanging on the walls and those motionless eyes captured by the artist's skillful brush. Lucifer stopped with me, looking at Satan, his father. He pointed to the portrait preceding his father.
Andras was my grandfather. Before him, power was gained through bloodshed, but my grandfather banned transferring the title by right of the strongest. He founded a staff of advisors who were involved in all matters concerning life and hell from then on. Tired of being in power, he passed the title on to his heir, my father.
Where is Andras now?
They killed him.
Asti stood a little farther away, impatiently tapping the tip of her boot on the carpet.
Being Satan is dangerous, you know, even if he retires. That's right. What do you think, Lucifer? Should we prepare a place for a new portrait? I heard that Aphia is already looking for an artist to prepare it.
No, Lucifer's face is gonna be pictured there. Lucifer clenched his jaw but didn't answer. He walked past her down the hallway. You know, ignoring a bitch like Asti is the best solution. Asti showed Mimi and Astaroth to their rooms. No! Astaroth, where do you think you're going? Sorry, mine was a little further away.
Yeah, Chambers.
Lucifer grabbed her hand.
Do you think this hurts me?
I don't know. Did it work? Huh? He shoved her hand away. He went into the room that was across from mine. Asti followed him and hastily closed the door. Excuse me? Y'all, I think we can confirm that I'm very possessive of my men. Very possessive. And I have beef with Asti personally. She went after my soulmate Malbonte. She had something. No. Very protective over my men. You do not touch my man. A strip of light remained at the bottom. Their voices could be heard in the hallway. Asti still hasn't given up on trying. She still wants Lucifer. The voices became quieter but remained tense. What should I do? I'm not gonna eavesdrop or not.
Eavesdrop on the conversation. Why not? I walked to the door and, holding my breath, listened. Through the crack, I saw Lucifer. He stood with his back to Asti and silently listened to what she said. Blake gave my father his position back. Whatever you think of him, he was a good throne and saved many half-breeds. He didn't do it out of the kindness of his heart, and I don't care, to be honest. Why are you saying this? You don't understand. You've always been from a family of rulers. Even if you were overthrown, the way you're treated won't change. After Rebecca removed my father from his position, our family became unwelcome in hell, and even more so in heaven. I never showed you how worried I was. You did? Girl, you're complaining. And when he's not giving you the time of day, you're mad. She's technically always hanging on to his sock drawer. Like, I'm sorry, she's always hanging on to him. And when he's not giving her the attention that she wants, she gets mad. Did you see my tears? Did you feel my fear? You're acting like a real bitch. Petty grudges are like fear. Like I said, Asti went close and put her hands on his back. There was the faintest shudder in response. But you liked it? We enjoyed despising the whole world together. Perhaps, but I've changed and you haven't. You just never tried to see the changes in me. Asti hugged him, pressing her cheek against his shoulder blade. She cried silently. I tried to forget you, I really did, but it didn't work. I want to hurt you as much as you hurt me. Someone needs to explain to me what kind of love this is, because if I truly love someone, I want what's best for them, even if that doesn't include me in their life. She kind of just reminds me of fangirls that just can't take the hint that I'm not interested, you know? Like, if you know stories of rockers where they like hook up with many women and then they get immediately attached, but it's just a one-time thing. And then they're upset when they're like, yeah, it's not gonna be more than that. You left me, you abandoned me, you looked down on me as if you were better than me. You behaved like everyone else in hell after my father lost his title of throne. Oh, wow, okay, she crying. I can't feel compassion for her. And I don't think I feel pity for her either, because no matter how horrible you feel, you can't just let it out on other people. Like, they can't do anything about what you're going through. If I would have done that, oh Jesus Christ. You can't just hurt people because you are hurting. That's not okay. Because you don't know what other people may be going through internally. Like, are you trying to tell me that Lucifer had a beautiful childhood? He has been beaten by his father. And he had rage issues because of that. But he had rage issues because he cared. He wanted to make his father proud, and sooner or later he realized that his father was never going to be satisfied with anything he did. That's when he said, I don't care anymore. You can't blame Lucifer for not giving you the time of day because he doesn't have feelings for you, and then hate him when he didn't know what happened to your situation in hell. It's not fair. So an alien is helping the Asurapa strengthen his position as Satan. You indulge in your father, and then you come into my bedroom and say things like this. Have you completely lost your mind, Asti? Lucifer let her continue hugging him, but he stood motionless as a rock. I understand, I know, but I don't want to have to earn love. You shouldn't. Before you accepted me for who I was, but now I have to prove that I'm worthy of your attention. It hurts because I will love you no matter what you do. That's unconditional love. Lucifer took the woman's hand from where it rested against his chest and turned to face Asti, still holding it. Don't talk about love. There was no love between us. Don't trivialize this emotion. Oh, wow, okay. She truly loves him. I don't know what to make out of that situation, because if you truly love someone, you behave differently. But I know from experience, there are a lot of people that cannot show how they truly feel on the inside. It is difficult for them to actually express what they truly feel for someone. So, the second you feel yourself drowning in pain, and you feel like the next step would be you wanting to end your life, your anchor is the first person you think about. You want to see the person that you feel like would be the only person to immediately run and save you if things would ever get that bad. So, when you found your anchor, that's the person you bind yourself to, okay? But your anchor is not someone you fall in love with. I think a lot of people confuse love with their anchor. When I am trapped in a situation where I feel that I don't want to live anymore, where I feel like I'm drowning, no one wants to die. So when I feel that I'm losing myself and I feel like I'm not strong enough to fight against all the negativity that is coming down on me, I am thinking of the only thing, the only person that is capable to make me feel something. I'm thinking of the only person that I know deep down will always be there for me when things should get that bad. I want to see the person that will want me there. I want to see the person that will make me feel alive. I will want to see the person that I know will tell me everything that I need to hear in order to find or feel hope. When you're in your most vulnerable situation, you lose hope. You don't want to live anymore because you feel like nothing you do will ever matter to anyone. So in your moment of true despair, you want to see the person that will tell you all the things you need to hear in order to find the strength to continue to fight. And that person is your anchor. But because you are in your most vulnerable state, you confuse a necessity with love. If that person shows up and then actually saves you from doing something that you could regret, you bind yourself to that person. And because you want to truly live, but you didn't find the strength to fight for yourself, you feel indebted to the person that saved you. You feel attracted, you feel some kind of attachment to the person that saved you. And a lot of people confuse that attachment to love. But you do not love the person that saved you. You do not fall in love with your anchor. You have the feeling that you fell in love with your anchor. Because in your most vulnerable state, that person was the only one willing to fight for you. That person was the only one that made you feel that you are worthy of staying alive, that you are worthy of being loved, that everything was gonna be okay. So you bind yourself to that person. And because in a certain sense you will always feel that vulnerability, because you have been in that dark place before, you never really get out of believing that you are in love with your anchor. Until you truly fall in love. And that's Austy's problem here. She's confusing attachment to love. She feels attached to Lucifer because he was the only person willing to stay by her side no matter who she is. She literally just said it, before you accepted me for who I truly am, and now I feel like I have to prove myself to you. She feels attached to Lucifer, but she's not in love with Lucifer. She needs to find someone that truly loves her. I love you. That's not true. I'm not sure you're capable of feeling it. Not yet, anyway.
That's true. Not yet. But she's capable of feeling it.
And you? Are you capable of something more? Austy, you did it to me. But if you stab me in the back, I will cut your head off. Do you understand me?
Austy took a step toward him and snapped at him.
I understand.
She stood on her tiptoes and pressed her lips to his. Wow. Lucifer responded to the kiss passionately and hungrily. There was a sort of hatred in their actions. You got to know Lucifer a little better. Lucifer! I don't know what to say about what Lucifer is doing, because he kind of is encouraging her to live in that delusion. But when you yourself are in a vulnerable situation, you're not realizing that you're leading that person on. I mean, technically he said it loud and clear. I do not love you. But he's willing to give her what she's craving for, which is the attention of him. I promptly pulled away from the door. It's clearly not meant for my eyes. I went to my room. I'm intrigued to know what happens if this is the Lucifer version. It turned out to be gorgeous. I felt like an honored guest, but that only made me more wary. We had been prepared for the possibility of being detained as soon as we entered the main city. Maybe this meant we were being taken seriously, and proof of this would soon follow. I saw Lilith's portrait above the table. It adorned the entire wall. It felt like Lilith was watching me, ready to come to life and jump out of the canvas to punish me for any offense. Then Satan gave her chambers to me on purpose, to piss off Lucifer. I went to the window and pulled back the curtain. An entire army was gathered, arranged in several rows at the foot of the castle. It stood as a wall between us and the rest of the city. Well, it looks like we're going to have some problems. Uh-oh. So, this means that we have to prepare to fight.
apparently they don't want us here and they're like, go out, bitches. Oh god. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video with me. I don't think I can say anything more other that I kind of feel for Asti, but that does not explain her actions. But I'm intrigued to know how the story is gonna continue. I have my eyes a little on Astaroth, like a lot, I'm not even gonna lie. But yeah, as long as Malbonte isn't playing with open cards, I'm willing to exchange him. Let me stop. Let's see what's gonna happen in the next episode. I hope you enjoyed this video. Tell me in the comments below what you think was best, and I will see you in another video. Bye.